Okay, so I'm like terrified because I haven't tasted it, and I'm just like, this is an experiment. I have no idea what it's gonna taste like. Um, so okay. Hi. I don't know why I just started off laughing. I'm just so excited, honestly, to talk to you about coconut cake because I love coconut cake. So, I made a coconut cake yesterday and I've tried it a few times and I'm trying to figure out how I think about, like, what I think about it. I've been just baking a lot with, being in the house with shelter in place orders, and I love to bake and I loved baked goods, and I love to bake with things that I grew up with, fruit that I love, different like flavors that like represent home to me, and coconut is absolutely one of those things. So let us taste it together. First I'm gonna taste it the way that I made it. I made it with, I made a coconut cake and I made like a chocolate buttercream frosting, which was playing off of and inspired by Magnolia Bakery in New York, their recipe for their buttercream frosting. If you've never been there, by God's grace, when we're able to go to restaurants and pastry shops again, I would highly recommend going to Magnolia. They have delicious baked goods. So I'm going to try it with my chocolate frosting, which I already have before, but I made this yesterday. It tastes better today. The fuck? I mean, that happens like when I make soup. When I make a goosey soup, and you go sweet past like the next day. But for cake, it tastes better the next day. It tastes like even more moist. Wow, and the frosting. Honestly, okay. Okay. I'm thinking, should I tell you what I think now, or should I wait until after I taste all of these? Because I have 3 different slices of cakes lined up with different toppings. The first one is the chocolate one, so I'll just talk about it now. It's good. I like it. The frosting, I feel like I need to add more sugar. That's what I thought yesterday, but now I actually like it better than I liked it yesterday. So it's nice. It's the frosting, the chocolate frosting is just like cocoa powder, a couple pieces of fucking milk chocolate I had, powdered sugar, butter, and like coconut cream, or like what you would put in your coffee, and then coconut milk, like what you would put in your, I don't know, oatmeal. So I like that actually. I like it better than yesterday, because yesterday I was like, I don't know about all that. So now I'm gonna have it with vanilla bean ice cream. Oh my god, you didn't see that. That didn't happen. It totally just fell off of my spoon because I'm like holding my fucking phone. So we're just gonna eat it like fufu. Like so. Okay. I really like it with the vanilla bean ice cream, especially when it's melted into the fucking like coconut cake. It's delicious. Okay, so now I'm gonna eat this with coconut cream. I have like a coconut cream, or excuse me, a coconut whipped cream. I love coconut, which I've had in the house and it's just almost finished. So it's already melted inside, like melted. I don't know if you can see it, melted all up in there, because yeah. Okay, crumbs. Okay, anyway. That's the one, bitch. That's the one. So, let's see. What are my thoughts about this cake? So first of all, some notes on preparation. My brain. Okay, all the flavors in my mouth. I need to focus on what I'm trying to say. Okay, yes, I use pastry flour, which I've never made cake with before. Well, I've tried before, but it wasn't successful. This is my first time making, like, successfully making a cake with pastry flour. And the difference between pastry flour and like all-purpose flour, pastry flour has like a lower protein content than all-purpose flour, and it tends to be, it's like designed for cakes and biscuits and pastries, like the name would indicate. It's more airy and lighter. It tends to have give your cake or whatever you're baking with pastry flour, it's just more airy, right? And this cake is, when it came out of the oven, it was a little bit spongy, but it's definitely lighter than cakes that I've made in the past because I was using all-purpose flour in the past. And so I like it. In terms of like what I would change or how I would make it better, I would probably use a little bit less pastry flour and maybe more butter, or some other like wet ingredient, whether it be adding an egg, adding another egg, or increasing the amount of coconut milk in there, the canned coconut milk that I use, or increasing the amount of yogurt that I use. The recipe that I found called for sour cream, but I don't like sour cream, so I used vanilla yogurt. So I would probably decrease the flour as well as increase the wet ingredients. I want it to be a little bit more moist. Interestingly enough, like it's more moist today than it was yesterday, which you would think that it would be the moistest coming out of the oven, but it just tastes more moist. I covered it with tin foil overnight. That's it. So, and probably I would increase the coconut extract a little bit because I want even more coconut flavor. And I would play with spices. You know, when I first make something, I don't like to, I'm gonna be eating while I talk. I like to just follow the recipe because I want to have a baseline of how they made it, and then I can see from then, okay, do I like it or do I want to change it? So probably doing it again, because the recipe that I use, which is from sallysbakingaddiction.com, it didn't call for any spices. You know, like me with cake, usually I would put cloves or, you know, cardamom or amchur powder, which is dried mango powder. Amazing. Delicious. So for this, doing it again, I would probably add maybe a bit of nutmeg, you know, a bit of nutmeg. I don't know. I'd have to play with the spices, and maybe some lemon, because lemon and coconut go nice together. So a little bit of lemon to bring out that coconut, more coconut extract, some nutmeg, maybe some cloves, like dried cloves. I'll play with it. But overall, in terms of rating it, I would, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being utter shits and 10 being like divinity, I would give it like an 8.6. It's good. I'm a hard rater. When it comes to rating my own food, I rate myself like hard because I always want to have the most excellent, like delicious, divine, like interesting flavor combination, like fun, sexy, delicious thing that I'm making, like dish, baked goods, soup, like whatever I'm making. I always want it to be as divine as possible. So I'm a hard rater on myself to like challenge myself to make something even better. So probably somebody else would taste this, it might be like it's a 9, but for me, I would say between 8 and like 8.6. Like there's so many things that I want to work on. Overall, I would definitely recommend trying out this recipe if you're a fan of coconut. If you're a fan of coconut in any capacity whatsoever, I adore coconut. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. So thank you for nerding out with me about coconut cake. Let me know if you try this recipe, or any of your thoughts, anything that came to mind as you were like watching this video. If you yourself would love coconut cake but hate to bake, like whatever. Feel free to talk to me. Feel free to talk to me in the comments. Sending you a lot of love. Stay safe. And this is part of my offering. You know, I think all of us are at home and we're cooking, right? Well, not everyone's at home. Some people don't have homes to go to, but a lot of people are at home and they're trying to figure out how to feed their families and be healthy. So, and I'm like, well, how can I support the world at this time when we're all supposed to be at home. And this is one of the ways. Like, I'm just gonna offer you some recipes and some thoughts and some cooking tips in terms of how I cook, because I adore to cook, in case that's helpful to you as you're cooking for yourself and or your family. Sending you a lot of love. I hope you are healthy and happy and staying safe. And yes, please have some coconut cake this weekend if you can make time to make it. It's divine and delicious. Oh, okay. P.S. I would eat this like by itself or with tea. Like, I love breakfast, but I don't really like to eat breakfast in the morning. Like, I don't really eat until like 12-ish, you know, so like 11 maybe. But I love breakfast, but I typically will eat it in the afternoon. So this is a great thing to just eat in the morning with like some tea or coffee or whatever to get your day started and put something inside your belly. But it's not like, okay, eggs and toast and like sausage or whatever if you don't feel like something that heavy. Also, it might be great to have this like without frosting, like with chili or black eyed peas. I mean, so many possibilities. It's cake. It's coconut cake. Just smear it all over your tits and have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Happy weekend.